Welcome to Preparedness 101. This is a crazy decade. It started off with a pandemic, and we've got some more incredible exogenous shocks coming. But to be ready for all of that, you have to take care of you first. Otherwise, you're useless to everybody else. So sit back, grab yourself your favorite beverage. Let's chat. All right, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I am Dr. D, your host, principal researcher, Preparedness Labs Incorporated, and the voice of Inside My Canoe Head. We are here today to talk about Preparedness 101. You first, everything else in the world second. It's based on the idea that if we take care of us, the people that matter the most, that incredible person that we're staring at in the mirror, if we take care of that person, we will be in a position to provide excellent leadership to the family, those for whom I'm responsible for, any business ventures that I have, and everything else that may come along in this chaotic, difficult world. I am far better positioned to make logical, intelligent decisions when I take care of me first. And in preparedness, think about chaos. Think about when the world goes pear-shaped, when the shizzy hits the fizzy, the rest of the world is going chaotic. They're running around with their hair on fire, and you're going to start this from a position of intelligence, calm, peace, low stress, good financial life. You've got it all squared away. So you think, yeah, that's easy for me to say. It's easy for you to enact. And that's what we're going to talk about here today. How do I get my shit in order, my life together, so that I can then be in a position to maximize my decision making, to make those intelligent things, to rock an incredible life and take care of myself? Well, listen, today we're going to go over a simple 4-step process, and that is how to adopt a prepared life. Stage 1. It's really simple. First part is you got to accept responsibility. And it grounds down to the fact that it is nobody else's job to take care of you. It's not the government's job to take care of you. It's not the community's job to take care of you. That's you. You've got to look your incredible person in the mirror, and you've got to accept the fact that here I am, good, bad, or indifferent, warts and all. This is me. This is where I am in my life. This is the world around me. But accept, I don't care. Go ahead. Be a professional victim and blame everything that's happened to yourself to this point on somebody else. You're oppressed. You're victimized. You're marginalized. We can do this all day. But success starts when you look at yourself in the mirror and you say, from this point forward, everything that happens is up to me, and it will be my fault. I say this when I started becoming an entrepreneur a couple of years ago. Whether I make 1,000 or 100,000, it'll be my fault. So good or bad things that happens from this point forward are 100% your responsibility. You're not a victim, you're not oppressed, and you're ready to do what needs to be done. That's number one. It's the number one question in preparedness that we ask: who is responsible for your outcomes? And if the answer is not you, if you think it's the government or something, listen, I wish you the best of luck, but there's really nothing anybody can do to help you. But if you actually want to fix your life, if you actually want to take control and start making the steps forward that matter, the first thing is personal responsibility. The second is your physical health, right? Whether you're a religious individual and you believe God gave you this body and your soul only occupies it for a period of time, whether you're a naturalist and you believe that you just happen to randomly be selected by nature to be given this body, whatever your frame is, it doesn't matter, because it's only going to be as good as you take care of it, right? And your physical health is the most important thing that you can concentrate on in your preparedness life, in adopting a prepared life, and becoming a prepper. Because remember, when the world becomes chaotic, if the world goes and does the crazy stuff that you think it may actually do, the physical demands that are going to come upon your body are going to exponentially increase. You're going to have to operate on far less sleep, far less proper nutrition. You're going to have to execute a number of tasks on short notice that may be physically challenging and difficult, right? Are you ready right now to walk 40 kilometers with a 50-pound back in your back? No? Well, you might have to do that. And if you're not ready to do it when the time comes, it's too late. So what do you have to do to take care of your physical health? Listen, it doesn't matter what you are right now. It's about setting a roadmap. It's about you creating the road to success. Now, that success may take years. It may be 3 or 4 years before you get yourself to the position you want to be. But it all starts with you looking at that incredible person in the mirror and saying, hey, sleep, diet, and exercise, the 3 things that are absolutely 100% within your control and are your responsibility, are all you need to concentrate on, right? I'm not a nutritional expert, but I'll tell you, if you eat food, you'll be fine. Food has one ingredient, right? Anything that is manufactured by humans in a plant is considered a manufactured good that may be reasonably digestible by the human animal, but it's certainly not food. Food is single ingredient. That's it. That's all. Pescatarian, vegetarian, carnivore, herbivore, whatever it is you want, whatever or you want to be it. Have a great time. Rock an incredible life. Just eat food. Exercise. The human body was designed to move. I'm not a doctor. Make sure you consult professional advice before you begin any exercise program, but the human body was designed to move. It's really simple. Move, walk. What do I do for exercise? Every day, I go on a 30-minute walk. And I put on a bunch of extra weight, weighted vest, stuff like that. But that's my exercise routine. That's it. I'm 53 years old. I go for a walk every day outside in the environment, irrespective of the weather. I'm outside for 30 minutes in the fresh air. I'm huffing, I'm puffing. It's a good, brisk, hard, challenging walk, and I'm done. That's my exercise routine. It's not challenges. It costs absolutely zero money. Zero money. And sleep. Listen, how many times have you laid in bed at night and just looked at yourself in the mirror and said, I wish I could fall asleep. Fall asleep now, body. Let's go. You can't do that, right? The world doesn't work like that. But what you can control is your wakey time, right? So pick one. I don't care. Be one of these 4:30 in the morning people, 5:30. But get up the same time every day, 7 days a week. Wake up, roll out of bed, 6 a.m., for example. Your body will be tired at the end of the day. And as long as you're not feeding it caffeine after noon, you will eventually pass out and get to sleep. You can't control when you fall asleep, but you can most certainly control when you get up. It's all within your control. You can take care of your physical health. It costs absolutely no more money than you're spending now. And you take responsibility, right? Then we move to number 3, which is your mental health. We all live, arguably, in this really crazy, chaotic world with all kinds of stressors coming out right, left, and center, anxiety booming. We have inflation, we have conflict, war, we have interpersonal conflict. We have a whole bunch of other slew things that are affecting your mental health. Remember, seriously, it is nobody's responsibility but you to address your mental health situation. May you need professional help? Absolutely. Nothing wrong with professional help. But no pharmaceutical or professional help in the end is going to fix your mental health. That is your choice, and that is your responsibility to execute. So get the help that you need, whatever it may be, to get over the top. Here at Inside My Canoe Head, we are not medical doctors. We do not have any type of education that provides us to provide you medical advice or anything like that. What we are saying is the research that I have done shows me that there are 2 things you can absolutely unequivocally control in your life to step your mental health better. Number 1 is your calendar, right? The only resource that is finite and you can't buy more of is time. Having access to your calendar, which means occupying your time, should be a privilege. Well, yeah, you gotta go to work. You gotta make money. I absolutely get it. Everybody has to do that, right? You gotta make money. That's awesome. However, everything other than your basic human requirements of ablution and feeding, everything else is a choice you make. every other hour that's in your calendar that's occupied by something you made. So sit down, go through the exercise, pull out your calendar and write down every freaking commitment you have and do it on a calendar. And have a look at that and start asking yourself, which one of those can I start removing? Remember, as Matthew McConaughey famously says, you should be a quick no and a slow yes. So if anybody comes up to you and says, hey, listen, I need a commitment from you right now. Listen, I need an answer right now. Well, then the answer is no. And it doesn't matter what they're asking you to do. The answer is an unequivocal no. Family, friends, boss, it doesn't matter. If you want the answer right now, the answer is no. If you want me to consider it and potentially give you a yes, then you're going to give me time. And the amount of time I take, that's up to me. That's not up to you. If you give me a deadline, I need to give you the answer tomorrow. Guess what? Let me help you out right now. That answer is no. Bye-bye. See you later. Nobody manipulates your time. It is a privilege to have access to your calendar. You control that. Nobody else does. It's magical when you start freeing that up. And just because you have open time in your calendar doesn't require you to fill any of it. Leave it open. The second thing is, and this is challenging for a lot of people, is toxic human beings. We all have them in our lives, right? They're the people that on balance bring you more stress than joy. Now, nobody's perfect. None of your friends and family are always going to be these absolute wonderful people. But look at everybody in your life and look at the people that on balance bring you less joy. People on balance that bring you more stress, the drama queens, the narcissists, and you simply fire them. Now, this is not the day for your magical Walmart big spiel, internet spamming, you're a toxic human being, you're gone. No, you simply just stop communicating with them. It's really that simple. You stop texting them. You stop emailing them. You take at least 24, if not 48 hours to respond to a text or an email they sent. You simply park them on the back burner and eventually they go away. You control your calendar and you control the human beings that you choose to interact with. Those two things are two powerful things that you can do. Now, there isn't a way of doing a full mental health assessment for your life. I'll briefly tell you about it. You can choose whether you do it or not. It was powerful for me when I was going through a number of struggles and I needed to put it down. So basically, I put down a 3-column list, right? 1, 2, 3. First column was a list of all of the activities that I do. Second column was a list of all the organizations that I'm a member of or have interactions with. And the third one was a whole bunch of a list of all the human beings that I have access to, that I have regular interactions with, right? So basically my life on a whiteboard, piece of paper, whatever you choose. All the activities I belong to, all the organizations, etc. So the activities are like work, shower, all the stuff that you have to do, right? Then I looked at them and said, hey, listen, which one of these on balance bring me pain, discomfort, drama, stress, and anxiety? And I highlighted them. And so I had a list of highlighted things that I was currently doing, organizations that I currently belong to, and people that I was interacting with that, guess what? They bring me on balance more pain than joy. I was looking at a source of a good portion of the stress and anxiety in my life on a whiteboard. Guess what? Fired them all. I withdrew from organizations that no longer brought me joy. I stopped doing activities that no longer brought me joy. And I wished a whole bunch of people a great future life. Did it cure? No. But did it totally reduce the amount of stress and anxiety? Hell yeah. So that's your mental health. You just control what you can and do the best you can. And then if you still have struggles and difficulties, obviously seek professional help. Talk to your physician. Talk to a counselor. Figure these things out. Talk to good friends you trust, right? Be open. Have a community. We human beings are gregarious. We're not meant to be lone wolves. We're meant to be members of a group of a society and to operate really, really well together. And the last part of this is financial health, right? And this goes back to one of the principles of life. It is your responsibility to pay your own way. It doesn't matter what you choose to do as a profession or an occupation or whatever it is. I'm passionate about doing things that bring you joy and happiness. We just talked about mental health, right? Do things that bring you joy and happiness. But in the end, my friends, it is up to you to pay your bills. It's not the government's job to pay your bills for you. So you have to generate sufficient amount of income to pay your bills. And in financial management, there's really three things you got to worry about. And again, we here at Preparedness Labs Incorporated, inside my canoe head, we're not financial experts. What the advice that we're giving you here is what worked for me. And it's very simple. Number one basic rule, you have to run out of month before you run out of money. You have to. I don't care what you're doing for life. I don't care what your situation is. It doesn't matter. You have to run out of month before you run out of money. Right now, your income is standard. Your expenses are over here. This guy, you have to cut it until your expenses are smaller than your income. It's that simple. It's no more complicated than that. That means cut children's activities, sell a car, I don't care. You have to get to that point. The second part is everybody talks about emergency fund. Dave Ramsey talks about emergency fund. Here at Preparedness Labs Incorporated, we base your recommended emergency fund on top of what is your plan for when you get fired. We have some great podcast episodes and material on the trifecta of preparedness plans that you should have in your family. And one of them is what happens when you get fired, because you're going to leave your job at one point. You're either going to die, you're going to retire, you're going to quit, or you're going to get laid off. You're not going to do this, what you're doing right now, forever. So what is your plan when you walk into work tomorrow morning and your boss hands you your pink slip? Or the door is locked because the company went out of business overnight, or you've been made redundant, or come up with a bunch of other reasons. It's your job right now to have a plan for when you get fired, right? It's that simple. So the question is, what are you going to pivot to? What job are you going to pivot to right now? Because that's your job to figure out what you're going to pivot to, and it's your responsibility to come up with a plan. And if that means you're going to pivot in 3 months of training, whatever it's going to take you to get positioned and set up in your next job or your next career, whatever that may be, you need 3-month emergency fund. You see how that works? You build a preparedness plan. It informs your emergency fund. Have an emergency fund, whether you're a follower of Dave Ramsey or you're a follower of your financial advisor. It is your responsibility to be able to cover contingencies and emergencies when they happen. And the last one is retirement, right? Think about it. We're probably not going to work until you're dead. At some time in the future, you're going to retire, and it's your job to fund it. It's not the government's, it's not society's. It's your job to fund your retirement. So figure out what it is that you want in retirement. Figure out how much money you're going to want. Now, here at Inside My Canoe Head and Preparedness Labs Incorporated, we use a simple formula, right? I want X thousands of dollars per month in after-tax income. Say I want $5,000 a month after-tax income. That's the retirement I want in today's nominal dollars, right? I want $5,000. Okay, so I'm going to need $60,000 a year in take-home cash. Okay, no problem. So I'm going to retire at 65 and I'm going to live till 85. So 20 years times 60, you get where I'm going? It's not hard to figure out exactly how much cash you need in the bank when you retire. Now you got to figure out how to get there. Talk to financial advisors. They got some great advice. It's not a problem. The key is every minute you put off retirement funding, you put yourself at risk and you place a burden on society. For the rest of us are going to have to pay your bills for you when you get old. And that's not cool. And the last part is, listen, you are number one. We've said that from the beginning, right? And so the first part of Preparedness 101 is taking care of you. And you do that by starting these roadmaps that we talked about. Set up the roadmaps, let them roll out. It's really that simple. You get your physical, mental, and financial house in order. And when I mean in order, I mean you've got the roadmap. Dude, it may take you 3 years to get your financial house in order. It may take you 5 years to get your retirement plan up and running. The fact that you've written it down and committed to that incredible person in the mirror, that's all the world needs right now. And you follow the plan. The fact that you're 175 pounds overweight and you have trouble awesome. You've now got a strategy of how you're going to take command of your physical health, right? That's all these things are. You put yourself first. You take care of you. And then when the world goes chaotic and the world goes pear-shaped and the shizzy hits the fizzy, you are in a better position to take care of the decisions that need to happen, to navigate chaos and to manage it for you and your family. It's all it is. It's really that simple. It's no more difficult than that. Preparedness is free. It has absolutely nothing or very little to do with the level of stockpiles and supplies in your basement. I know the YouTube's full of people giving you top 10 thing list to buy. Stock up on these 15 items. Yeah, absolutely. Just use their affiliated code and don't worry, they'll get you a great deal. Yeah, sure. Stockpiling crap in your basement is not a measure of preparedness. Taking care of you is how we measure preparedness. All right, drop over to www.preparednesslabs.ca or listen to our podcast, Inside My Canoe Head, available on all platforms. We've got everything you need to adopt a prepared life.